So it looks like Nintendo finally decided to talk about the Switch's paid online service. So let's just sit down, take a look at what they offer, and talk about whether or not it's good news or not. So yeah, let's get to it. So Nintendo Switch Online has finally been revealed. Or at least I would say a good portion of it anyways. It's hard to say exactly if all of it is fantastic news, but I'm going to go through it a bit and talk about what I like and what I don't like, right? Keep in mind, this is an off-the-cuff video, so it's completely non-scripted, so I apologize if it seems a little disorganized. But when it comes to Nintendo Switch Online, obviously we're getting the online play, right? But the issue is that the online play is kind of something we've already had before. So my only... They do list it as some kind of huge positive. But the thing I want to talk about is there's no reason to really list that as a positive for something that is already given for free. So I'm hoping that this kind of does add into the online multiplayer, like, you know, make the servers better. I kind of doubt it due to how cheap the service is. Now, we've kind of known for a while that it was going to be 20 bucks for a year, which, by the way, I feel is going to be a very important sort of check mark, a very important bullet point, very important one, right? Because we can't compare it to Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus when they cost 3 times the amount, right? So we need to keep that in mind. Make sure you're in the right level, basically. But in terms of the online play, I can't see it getting better, which kind of sucks because, look, they didn't really say anything, so it's possible it could get better, and I'm just kind of pessimistic on the topic. But something about Nintendo's online becoming Xbox Live quality by a subscription of 20 bucks a month just doesn't sound likely to me. So that's pretty much how I feel about that, right? But they also mentioned that the Nintendo Entertainment System online section, right? Now, obviously that's just NES and NES games. Basically, they're giving away 20 NES titles with added online play when the service launches, right? They announced 10 of them, and they're about games which you'd expect. Some of the more like iconic ones like Zelda, Mario, you know, that kind of stuff. I'm just interested in one bullet point, one specific thing that I'm not seeing a lot of people mention, but I'm going to assume that not every NES game is going to have multiplayer, because in that list we have The Legend of Zelda. Now, that's a game that has no multiplayer, period, so how the fuck would online work for that? So I think it's obvious that not all of them are gonna get it. I saw some people mention that because Zelda was up there that it might get some kind of co-op mode. I don't think so. It's just gonna be like, you know, the games that are single player are gonna stay single player, and the games that have some kind of like couch co-op mode to it, like obviously it would have back in the day, since there's no online during that time, would probably just have an online component. So maybe if you're playing Super Mario Brothers, for instance, the second player would be online and he would be playing with you from like fucking wherever the hell he is. So I think that's kind of cool. It's probably the beefiest chunk of content you're getting for the $20 basically, because everything else is kind of stuff that should have been here to begin with, but we'll get to that in a second. But in terms of like the 20 bucks gets you the online service, features, and 20 NES games, which is basically $1 a game. So if you look at it that way, this is already cheaper than the Virtual Console. So I don't really have much complaints here. The Virtual Console, buying those same games, Nintendo would have charged like $5 for each of them. Like, this is infinitely cheaper. So I think that makes a lot more sense. But in terms of anything else, I don't really have much to say about this. It would be nice to see Super Nintendo games, because I remember them mentioning Super Nintendo games would become available on the service soon. But yeah, right now that's okay. That's okay. I don't really have. I don't think I'm going to play NES games on my Switch much, but it's nice. The next thing, however, is probably what I consider to be the biggest news, tied with something else that I'll get to later on. But this is the biggest news about the reveal, or what they've revealed so far. Save data cloud backups. That when I'm not even joking, guys. When I first saw this on my phone, when I was looking through my Twitter timeline, I yelled out in like excitement just because of the save data cloud backup stuff. Like, dude, fucking the Switch needed this shit way earlier. Way earlier. I'm like a very paranoid person. I live in New York. Like, people who live in New York, you know, like, people get fucking robbed out here. You know, shit happens. And it's not just here, you know, anywhere where like there's a rough neighborhood or some shit, you know, shit happens. But the Switch needed this shit because you lose all of your save data. Imagine playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2 or Breath of the Wild for like fucking 200 hours and then your Switch gets stolen. And you have no cloud data, nothing. Nothing. You're done. You're screwed. You're complete, like you're fucking screwed. That's it. It's over. There's no way in hell somebody's gonna play another 200 hours of Breath of the Wild or Xenoblade Chronicles just to get to the same place they were already at. Like, that's insane. So that's a feature that should have been there to begin with. My hype for it isn't like, oh, hallelujah, I can't believe they're doing it. No, the hype is fucking finally, Nintendo, you're doing this. Finally. Because it is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Because like, I don't even use cloud saves really for my other consoles, my Xbox or my PlayStation, because they don't really go anywhere. So I don't really run the risk of losing them really. But with the Switch, I do. So I need the cloud data. I need the cloud save data. But yeah, that's fantastic. I'm happy to have that. And that's kind of it. Moving on, we also have the Nintendo Switch Online app. This is what I think to be the biggest negative out of the entire thing, right? Because yet again, we're being told to use the Nintendo Switch Online app for voice chat, and apparently they're gonna add new features, right? This is fucking stupid. Okay, and let me tell you why. No one is going to use this app to talk to anyone in their game. Nobody. Not a single fucking person is going to do that. Maybe to test it out, and that's it. It is seriously ridiculous that we have to do it this way. The fucking Vita has a party system that's on the console. Why the fuck are we using a smartphone app? This is stupid. This is incredibly stupid. And I don't understand why Nintendo's still pushing it. But I guess you can't have everything your way. And I'm not saying this as a defeated man. I'm saying this as, like, Nintendo fucked up, and they were going to fuck up somewhere. Like, no company's perfect. But if there's any place they fucked up, it's the fact that they're still pushing this shit. This was their chance to bring Nintendo Switch Online voice chat to the console. Hell, they could have made it like, oh, the free version? Yeah, use your smartphone app, you fucking pleb. Or no, pay the $20 a year and you get it right on your console. That would have been scummy, but it would have been preferable to the fact that, yeah, even though you're spending the $20, you're still using the smartphone app, you idiot. God, why? Well, okay, whatever, right? So let's move on. They also mentioned special offers. Now, I don't see this. I imagine. I know what this is. This is essentially going to be what PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live Gold offer, where like you'll see a game on sale, and maybe it's on sale for like 20% off. But then if you have PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live Gold, it'll, I don't know, say like 40% off. You know, you get the extra discount. I'm pretty sure that's what this is too. And maybe there'll be more, but that's kind of where I'm looking at it right now. And if that's the case, then that's okay. But we're talking about Nintendo here. And Nintendo is not exactly the best when it comes to putting things on sale. They're the worst at it, actually. I love Nintendo and all, but fuck, this is not their strong suit. So it's nice to see that special offers thing, I guess. But when you really look into it, Nintendo doesn't really do sales well. So I can't imagine this special offer thing to really be meaningful at all. I mean, hey, maybe this is Nintendo. They're finally going to give us great sales, but only if you buy that. Maybe. I'm not totally sold on that, but maybe. But who knows, right? Now we have one last little detail I wanted to talk about, right? And that's the pricing, right? Now, I already mentioned earlier that the pricing is $20 a year. Now, when you look back at all the things I just listed and mentioned as like their features or whatever, $20 a year sounds okay to me. It doesn't sound bad at all. You're getting, like I said, it's like you're getting an NES game per dollar, and they are gonna add more games, and they're gonna be added regularly. And if you go even further back to this announcement, you know they're gonna add Super Nintendo games too. So I say that's extremely worth it, right? The save data is a huge plus. I don't think it should be tied to the service, but whatever, it's there. Online play and Switch Online app, you already know how I feel about that. But right, here's the one little detail, the one little caveat to the pricing, right? The price of $20 a year, right, could be so much cheaper thanks to the Nintendo Family Plan, the Nintendo Switch Family Plan, right? So apparently they're offering this Nintendo Switch Family Plan where you can have up to 8 people, yourself and 7 others, go into this sort of family group, right? And you pay $35 so that everyone in that group has the online service for a year, right? And all you have to, according to the website, from what it sounds like, this could be different, maybe they'll change it later, but it sounds like people can seriously take full advantage of this with their friends. What I mean by this is that it looks like all you have to do is add someone to your family group, right? Because it doesn't mention that it has to be on the same console. It looks like you could be on different consoles. So if that's the case, I can have myself and maybe, I don't know, say 4 other friends. I can have Mike from Mike's Monster Gaming, I can have True Eagle, and I can have Mandy, and we could all just have like a hypothetical quote-unquote family, and everyone just splits the cost 4 ways. How I think if you actually manage to get a full squad of 8 people in that family group, you could legitimately make the price for the entire year of online less than $5. That's insane, and that's kind of cool. Mind you, I'm not saying I'm gonna do that with Mike and the rest of them. I'm not expecting any of that or nothing like that. So don't don't think I'm going. This is me trying to get them to do it. No, that's not what this is at all. So don't take it that way. I'm just saying a hypothetical. If you and your friends consider each other family, you could split the cost like 8 ways if you manage to find everyone that's, you know, wants to do that basically. I think that's tied for the save data cloud backup as one of the best things about this, because that's not a thing you can really do on the other consoles. You can't really share online with multiple consoles. At most, you can kind of do it with all the consoles on, like all the accounts on your console, and that's kind of it officially anyway, I think. But yeah, that's amazing. I think that's really cool. So hey, you know, if you want to get you and your entire squad of fans of the Switch get together and just make your online purchase even cheaper, then yo, go for it, man. Go for it, because that's what it looks like. And if it stays that way and Nintendo doesn't change a thing, that's gonna be crazy. But I can easily imagine that Nintendo, if they realize the complication there, they're probably not gonna let that happen. But who knows? But I've been talking for way too long now. This video is about to hit 15 minutes if I don't shut the fuck up. So I'm gonna leave it here. Just comment down below what you think about this online service, all your opinions on it, you know, all that shit. Are you gonna buy it? Do you need more information? Because clearly it hasn't told us everything. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.